Right.
Hi, my name's Kathy. I'm an alcoholic.
And I'm Jessica. I'm an addict.
Welcome to Two Friends, One Path. Oh, today we're doing the very last step, and we may be able to get through it all in one, or it may take us a couple, according to how off subject we get today, like we typically do. We get to talking and um. So, just to get started, this is solely our opinion. We are not affiliated with any group or program. Our sole purpose is to help others uh, fighting addiction and or alcoholism and to offer help and knowledge on how we stay sober. This 100% raw and real. We do cuss, we do tell war stories, we do cry, we do laugh. However, we do recover.
We do recover, my friends.
We have some helplines that Jessica will give to you at the end. And let's see, it's tried to check
tell
the
Alexa.
time.
Tell Alexa.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, 5 till plus that thing's running, so we'll just look at that. So, step 12.
Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. That is a all, every one of them. Not when we feel like it, not when it suits us, not when we don't get angry.
Well, you know, one thing that I think people need to realize is that this is not a cafeteria style thing. You know, you can't just say, hey God, take away my drinking or my cravings for drugs, alcohol, whatever, but leave my finances alone. Don't mess with my sex life. I'm okay there. Don't, maybe raise my finances a little bit. Don't mess with so and so because I'm good there. Just take away the cravings. No.
You have to make a life change, y'all, and an entire lifestyle change. And I'm going to tell y'all, I haven't worked a perfect program. And I have struggled a lot this year. I mean, if I were to sit here and tell y'all that I am perfect at this and that my principles are all, on track and I practice this like perfectly, I would be lying 100% to you and I would be not being truthful. It is an everyday program that you have to try to stay on. It is a daily reprieve and my spiritual condition is contingent upon it. I have to stay vigilant. I have to try, and I'm so grateful that I have this podcast because it reminds me. It keeps me, it reminds me I'm not perfect, y'all. I slip a lot. I fall, not in alcohol or drugs, but like on my principles and some of my steps because I am a human being. Doesn't make an excuse for it, but I do. So
I think there's nobody who's like, oh yeah, I got this. No, we all have our slips, and it is how we give ourselves grace on whenever. It all goes back to accountability.
It does.
It goes back to if I tell a lie, then I'm gonna have to go through the effort, put it on the list, work with a sponsor, figure out a way to do an amends and blah 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 blah. Whenever I can just be truthful in the first place, it's you hold yourself accountable for your shortcomings, your side of the street,
your defects of character and all the things that you have flaws in, you own it.
You own it, and then you don't repeat it. That's the big thing. You don't repeat it. That's where when people, well, I say people, when I've seen people go back out, a lot of it was because they had stopped doing the simple things that what we do to stay sober, our inventory, our our gratitude list, our prayers, our daily reflection. That to me is a process in itself, and that's something that I talk about my routine, and that's another thing. The daily reflection is another big part of my routine, is listening to that. And you have to do all these. It's not oh, I'm going to finish these steps and then life's going to be great. No. It don't promise that.
It promises that you will no longer have to drink or drug as a result of yourself and your defects of character. That's the promise that it makes. Each step has a principle that's attached to it. I've talked about this before, and I posted it on the TikTok page so you can see it. Step 12 principle is service, and that means that you're giving back to the fellowship or to your community. I will tell y'all each one of them in order once I get to all of it, because I have a lot of information to give y'all. So the first step is honesty. The second step is hope. Third is action. Fourth is courage. Fifth is integrity. Sixth is willingness. Seventh is humility. Eighth is brotherly love. Ninth is discipline. 10th is perseverance. 11th is spiritual awareness. And 12 is service. So if you are practicing your principles, you are within all of these things that I just mentioned. And you're working them to the best of your ability and staying inside of them. Types of service could be like sponsorship.
Yes.
Leading a meeting, cleaning up a clubhouse, making coffee at a clubhouse, sharing at a meeting, working on some kind of committee, getting involved with any kind of event and any kind of daily task that helps you stay sober, giving someone a ride somewhere, to a meeting, to church, to whatever, answering the phone for another alcoholic, just being there for someone, and starting a podcast like what Kathy and I did. This is service work that we do every week.
I was so scared of service work whenever it came to the simple things, and now it's like the simple things is what scares me. Whenever it used to be, I was scared of the simple things. I'm sorry. Now the simple things are like, I'm not gonna sweat over it like I used to, because I was so afraid of just doing, cheering a meeting or something like that, that I would overwork my brain and end up with the worst case scenario. And now it's like, why did I even sweat over that? Or telling my story in front of a bunch of strangers. Why was I even sweating over that? And now it's like, okay.
Well, when you're new in recovery, you don't know what to expect in life. And a lot of times, if you've never done those things, you don't know what to expect. So you are scared. And that's completely normal when someone's first getting sober. You're experiencing life for the first time in your life or in a long time. 12 steps is about joy of living, and action is the key word of this step. So that is an outward showing. Service is an outward showing of your inner love for other people and keeping things going by giving yourself to something else. It doesn't have to be AA. It could be your church. It could be your home. It could be your friends. It could be anything. So anything you're doing to outwardly show love to keep yourself sober is service.
Going to a homeless shelter.
Boom. There you go.
Anything, show your brotherly love in your service.
Mm-hmm. Here we experience the type of giving that asks for no reward.
Yeah.
So that means that when I make coffee, I don't expect somebody to say thank you. I don't expect somebody to say, hey, Jessica made coffee this week. Jessica made coffee last week too. I do that, or I take somebody home not for the glory, but because that's the right thing to do. And I don't expect anyone to say, well, Jess is always the one to take you home. I just did it because I'm supposed to. Here we begin to work all steps in our daily lives, and we find emotional sobriety. You can be mentally drunk and not have a drink. And you become emotionally sober at the 12th step. You are balanced. You don't flip out. You don't think about drinking. You don't think about hurting anybody. You don't think about flipping out. You work your program and you work your steps, and it shows in you. That's when people are like, you're a whole new person.
Right. And, I want to say there are so many people who get the 12 steps and stuff like that confused. The promises and the spiritual awakening, such as that. Yes, have I had a spiritual awakening? I did. And it was just an overall feeling of calmness, of you're okay. You know, whenever I thought, what else can life freaking throw at me? It was like, you're going to be okay. And I've talked about it, sitting in the Olive Garden parking lot. And even as much as I tried to stress out about stuff, I just had this feeling. And it was almost like someone saying, you're okay. I got you. And that's when I realized, you know, there's been someone there the whole time. I just, you know, kind of ignored him until I got into this program. But what I'm trying to say is, just because you work these 12 steps, yeah, you're still gonna have bad days. It's not saying that. You're gonna have good days, and I say this all the time. One bad day sober means more than 1,000 good days drunk.
That's true.
You know, some of those fun days that you used to have, I wouldn't go back to any of that. Yeah, that was the old version. But is life going to be peaches and cream after you work these 12 steps? Who knows? I
It
know
just guarantees
mine.
you can deal with life on life's terms.
I do know mine. Yeah, I've learned how to live life, because life's gonna be life, and I've learned how to control things more differently than I used to, where it was, you know, just pop somebody in the face and I felt better, you know, just it's over with. I feel better, but now it's like, whoo, you know, it's how I react to things. And if I'm putting my principles, my traditions, my steps, if I'm putting them in my mind whenever I handle life on life's terms, it's my reactions is the only thing I can control. So, like, does life get better? Mine did. Mine did get easier. Was it hard? Yeah. Nothing in life worth having is given or easy. You have to work for it.
Well, it's funny you said something about the spiritual awakening. It says, upon working all 12 of these steps, you're going to have one of those. There is probably as many definitions of a spiritual awakening as there are people who have had them. So I've heard that it comes quickly, comes slowly, that it's like a lightning bolt. I've heard that it comes of the educational variety. The best one I've learned is about, like, you've been wearing the wrong glasses prescription your whole life, and then when you put on the right ones, it changes the way you see life completely. And for me personally, that's what happened. Mine was very quick. Mine was very mind-blowing. And yes, it changed my entire perspective on my life, how I saw it and how I lived it. They all have one thing in common. These people have come to feel and believe what they could not do before was possible. And it was, you didn't know that you had a whole life out there like that. You didn't know that there was experiences like there out that your God of your understanding could touch you in that type of way. And like you said, you never knew there was a peace like that. You never knew that kind of calm in your life till it was handed to you, and then there's nothing you could do to give it away. You tried. You said, man, I tried to stress out and I couldn't.
I sat there and I could not. And anybody that knows me, hell, I was 16 years old with ulcers in my stomach. I've always been a worrywart. I just could not find anything to like worry about. Although my life was falling apart in front of me.
It happens.
I mean, me and my husband were going through some major issues, which caused later on a few months down the line for us to separate. I was going through medical issues. I did not know what the next day was going to bring, but I couldn't worry about it. It was like, nah, I got this.
Well, it was how you handled it too. You didn't flip out. You didn't call me and say, I'm not going to make it today. Like, I can't do this. I didn't see you losing your mind. I didn't see you pick up a drink.
No.
I didn't see you do any of those things. And, that is the gift of the program. You are granted a gift of a new state of consciousness and being. And that's what it is. You are gifted a new state of mind. And you no longer live in that old state. You've been risen up. You're living in a new state of mind, to where you can see things for what they are. You know how to react to things. It like I said, it's different for everybody. But what most people say is that it changes their entire life, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing that I wish anyone can have it. All you gotta do is work for it. It's free, but it takes a lot of work. Rigorous work, but I wish that everyone would do it, because this world would be a really, really awful place. He finds himself tolerant and unselfish, peaceful, and loving, even though he thought himself incapable. Did you feel like when you were drinking that you could be loving and tolerant?
No.
Me either.
No.
I thought I could be loving, but I definitely wasn't tolerant of anybody, not even myself.
No, I was a mean bitch. I ain't gonna lie. No, I was a mean bitch. I could sit here and say, oh yeah, I was a happy drunk. No, I was a sloppy, messy, at the end of my drinking, I was sloppy, messy, mean. I did not care. I did not care about anything. Because, well, I did care about one thing. The alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
That ruled my life.
Mm-hmm.
If I was being invited to a birthday party, it was like, well, I can get halfway drunk before I get there, and then hide some shots and maybe go to the bathroom. And this is the insanity of going to a kid's
Birthday party. Yeah.
And saying, well, I can drink this and then sneak around and drink this. And the insane part was, I justified it.
Get sloppy drunk and told him you weren't drinking. I'm
I'm
not drinking.
I justified it. I'm like, well, if I space it out, just the craziness of this disease. Like I said, our disease is in the back of our head doing push-ups and sit-ups. Motherfuckers over there doing curls, just waiting.
Waiting for you to say just one won't hurt.
And just one, yeah. If just one didn't hurt, all of us would be sitting around just drinking one and not blowing shit up.
We only got to this place by practicing all 12 steps to the best of our ability. First, we admitted that we no longer could drink, we were powerless over it, and that our lives had kind of become shit,
Yeah.
And we didn't know how to control that. Then, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could make us normal again, could change us back to sanity. We made a decision to let God guide us and take our lives over and no longer put our finger in it, and came to understand a God of our own. We made a fearless inventory of all the good shit, all the bad shit, all the crappy shit, and all the other shit. And then we had to tell another person and God about all the stuff we had done that was shitty to other people. We had to then become ready for God to take all of that stuff from us. And all the bad things that we did and all the things that we do. We had to humble ourselves and ask him to take all those shortcomings away from us, the ones that we liked, not cafeteria style, the ones that we loved, the ones that worked for us. We had to make a list of all the people that we screwed over, and we had to consider trying to tell these people we were sorry for it.
Oh, making amends. And there's somebody, I was watching a show today. Amends means to mend something, to fix it. But go ahead,
No,
sorry.
you're right. That's cool though. That's right. We had to then tell these people we were sorry. And like she said, we had to fix it, not just say, I'm sorry, but you did something else. And we would only do that if it didn't hurt them. But there were certain types of amends we went over. You can go back and look at that. We continue to look at the crap we do every day. And when we do something we shouldn't have done, we have to go tell somebody we're sorry for it. So every day I go lay in bed and I say, what did I do today? And if I did something wrong, I try to fix it. Sought through prayer, meditation, so you can talk to God all the time and keep him next to you, the one that you came up with. And you only want to know what he wants for you and how to do that.
Yeah. And thy will be done.
That's right. And where we are now, having a change of consciousness as a result of doing all of these things I just told you, and tell another alcoholic how you did it, and to practice the 12 principles in it, you will know how to deal with life on life's terms. You will be happy, joyous, and free. And then what do? Start over. You start over at step 1. So, it's not an easy program. It's not easy. It's
worth it though.
Well, when I mean it's not easy, I don't mean it's complicated. I mean it's not easy to admit all of these things.
Right. It's not easy to put the mirror.
Right, to look at yourself and say...
It's easy steps. It's easy to understand. It's just hard to face.
There you go.
You know, face that mirror in front of you. And stuff like that. It's really hard to face that. And look, I get it. There are so many people who have said, you know, step 4 shit about, you know, writing all that, and it was mentally exhausting. I was mentally exhausted.
A lot of people try to say that they relapse at step 4, and I don't think that's an excuse. I want to say that out loud. A lot of people say that they relapse at step 4. That's not an excuse. I believe that's still a choice. I understand it's hard, but a lot of us have done it without doing so. Kathy, did you do a step 4?
Yes.
Did you do a step 5 with me?
Yes.
Did you drink?
No.
Okay, same here. And it is hard, and staying close to someone like your sponsor or your loved one or whoever you're doing it with is important, and to always pray before. And if it does get sticky, set it down for a little while. You don't have to do it all in one day. We freely give as we have received, and that is 12-step work. You know, just like we're doing today, we've received this information and this knowledge, and now we're giving it back to you, and that's how we keep it. We must learn to grow from our setbacks and turn to the 12-step for help and for answers. So once we have a problem, because we're human, like Kathy said, it's not going to be all peaches and cream. But when the peaches and cream are not there, and you're served shit and, you know, a bunch of bull crap, you are able to turn to those 12 steps and your principles and learn a way out of it, and learn how to deal with it on life's terms rather than drinking over it. And that's the beauty of the program. I never have to drink again if I don't want to. If I work these 12 steps, I never, ever, ever have to drink again. I can be emotionally sober. I can think positively and rightly. And I'm going to tell y'all, I have not always done that. I am not perfect at this, but I try. And that's all that matters. God answers try. And if you give with all your heart, you're good. What is practicing these principles in all of our affairs? We can bring love and tolerance to our messed up family lives that we have wronged and that have wronged us. We can accept another person who does not want to be in sobriety. There are people out there that just don't want to get sober. We've tried. There's people out there, and we can accept that. Like, you don't have to push your sobriety on people. If they want it, they will come to it, and you can accept that instead of consistently dragging people off the bar stool to the meeting, Kathy.
I know. I'm still working.
It's hard. It's hard because you can love somebody and want it for them, and I understand that. We can carry it, the AA, and the steps and the principles in our daily life, and carry it to our jobs as well. We can meet, or what is it?
Can't read your own.
No, I can't. We can meet or renew responsibilities to the world at large. I read that out of the 12 and 12. I didn't know exactly what it meant, but I felt like it was important, so I thought I would say it. We can meet or renew our responsibilities to the world at large. Somebody knows what that is, tell me. We can bring purpose and devotion to our new religion of choice or spirituality of choice. You can become devoted to your higher power, whether it be, God, or whether it be group of drunks, or good orderly direction, or
a tree,
or whatever, nature. You can bring devotion to that. How can we come to terms? We can learn how to come to terms with new failure and success, because failure and success can rock the boat a little bit, and you can learn how to come to terms with both. Because sometimes success can be just as detrimental as failure to you. So that's working the 12 steps. We can adjust to either without disrespect or pride. We can attack bereavement, loneliness, and not being where you want to be financially with hope, peace, and serenity. Let me read that again. We can attack bereavement, loneliness, and not being where we want to be financially with hope, peace, and serenity.
Mm-hmm.
So when you lose someone, when you're not where you want to be in life, when you're just, things are going wrong, you go at it properly with hope, love, peace, and serenity. We learn to humble ourselves.
Humble or you'll crumble.
You learn to humble yourself, y'all. There have been times that I want to bite back at somebody that's biting me, and I just practice my principles and practice being humble, because if I can do it in my private life, my personal life at work, and keep my mouth shut and not start stuff, then I can do it everywhere else. And how you react to things is going to show your emotional sobriety and maturity. We just said that like 100 times. It's all about how you react to things and how you work through them, and just know that peace is with you no matter what. Like Kathy said, it's a peace that surpasses all understanding.
No, I was sitting here thinking, with the financial security, what else was it? Losing someone.
The bereavement and loneliness and not being where you want, and all of those things that are hard in life.
And whenever I was in rehab, they said, "What are your reservations?" And I said, "Well, what does that mean?" And they said, "Well, tell us what could happen after you leave here that you may, or you would drink over." And I had lost so much besides my husband and my home. And I said, well, I guess if something happened to my husband or my home, yeah. And, one of those came true. The other one, well, I'm still sitting in my living room, so.
She got evicted last month. We're still here.
uh,
We got squatters' rights. We're not leaving.
Yeah, I've been here 25 years. I ain't going no damn where.
But you know what? She did handle it with grace. I'm going to tell you all that. She did. And she didn't flip out and go post a bunch of stuff on the internet.
Oh, no.
She didn't make it a public spectacle. She did not drink over it. she did cry. Don't get me wrong. She's a human being. That's somebody she loves. But she did not handle it.
Was I going to drink over it? Yes.
But she did not.
I called somebody before.
Then that means you weren't, because you did the right thing. If you were going to drink, you would have.
You know, I had a choice, and I called somebody because it was right turn Salem Road liquor store, or left turn Salem Road liquor store, right turn a group meeting, and I made a right turn because I called somebody.
That's emotional sobriety, making the right decision when you didn't have another answer, and you did that. That's something you should be proud of.
Oh yeah, and I'm forever thankful for the person, you know, that answered the call, and he was the first one to come in mind because at the time of day, it's like, all right, who doesn't work first shift? And I knew he worked second, and there was a time difference between the states we live in, and he answered.
Praise God.
And yes, thank God for that, because had he not, I would have made a left. I'm pretty sure. Well, I say that.
You didn't, so that's what's
But
important.
I would have kept calling someone.
Yeah, so you weren't going to drink. You wanted to, but you weren't.
I felt like I was entitled to it, I guess.
The justified anger we talked about. Are all of these things possible that we're talking about? Yes, they are possible. All of the things are possible. We see it happen every day in anyone who just tries to practice this. All you got to do is try. Give it an honest try. Once again, I have never personally heard anybody tell me that their life got worse by practicing the 12 steps. Okay? I have never heard that. All of us AAs fall short of such achievements on a consistent basis. But it's a program of progress, not perfection. And, you know, like I said, I am nowhere near the guru of the 12 steps. I am nowhere near the perfectionist of it. But I try and I make progress daily. And the only setback that I have is maybe I didn't do I didn't work a step the way I should have. And today it doesn't look like they used to. My setbacks are not drinking or drugging. We must work all of the steps, not just part of them. You can't say, well, you know, I admitted that I was powerless and that there's a God that can do something. And I feel great, y'all. I feel great. You can't stop. Just
well, is that the 1, 2, 3 shuffle?
That is called the two-stepping. It's you stay in the 1, 2 or the 1, 2, 3. It's called two-stepping. You go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you don't get anywhere doing that.
I heard somebody say the 1, 2, 3 shuffle. I was like, okay.
Yeah. That little pink cloud that you feel when you do those first couple of steps and things are starting to come about, it doesn't last forever. And it doesn't even last if you continue working the steps. It's something that God gives you that's a little gift at the beginning. I'll explain what a pink cloud is. When you first start the program and you first start getting sober and life starts looking good again and it starts having a new luster, you know, usually about step 3, you start feeling good again. You're like, oh, well, I can do this. And you feel on top of the world. And that feeling usually lasts till you start your 4th step because you then beat yourself down again. But it doesn't last the whole time, even after you do 4th and 5th step. But then slowly but surely, after your 7th and 8th step, going into that 9th step, those promises hit. And they are so important. Kathy, where's my phone? I'm going to read the promises to them.
I don't know where your phone is.
That'll be fine. Keep talking. I'll be right back. So. I'm coming.
Okay, she's coming.
It was right there, y'all.
Oh.
So the things that happen, I'm going to read to y'all and tell y'all the outward things. The 9th step promises. Hey, but there we go. Okay, the promises.
If we are painstaking.
That's it. Hold on. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we'll be amazed before we're halfway through. We're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity, and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, the feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises?
We
think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly.
Sometimes slowly. They will always materialize as long as we work for them.
If we do what for them?
Work for them.
Boom. So, those are the 12 steps, friends, and anybody can work them. You don't have to be a drunk. You don't have to be an addict. And they work for literally anyone who wants to try it. I highly recommend any of you who aren't addicts to examine yourself and find if there's something that you do have a problem with, whether it be food or scratch off lottery tickets or sex. Everybody's got something. I don't care who you are. Buying clothes, I might have a problem, but I'm not admitting it out loud. And you can use the 12 steps to fix that. Cigarette smoke. I've had friends 12-step cigarettes, and it works.
Yeah, maybe one day for me. Maybe one day soon. We'll see.
Progress, not perfection.
Exactly. I have to keep a little bit of sanity about me as far as, well, that's insane, but never mind.
I've never seen you really get mean over a cigarette yet. I think we're doing okay.
Well, yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Yet means you are, what is it? What does yet mean?
I have no clue.
It's like you are also eligible or something. You are eligible too. You are eligible too. Yet you are eligible, something like that. You're also eligible. So, yet doesn't mean the same thing. But somebody can correct me on that. I don't remember what the yet is. But we love y'all and we want y'all to do the same. And it works for Kathy and I. And beyond that, there are other pathways that we also recommend trying.
Any pathway.
We would recommend, I love church too, I know that scares some people off, and if you found the right one, it could work for you. NA, AA, the Gamblers Anonymous, Emotional Anonymous, all of us got emotions, people, and don't know how to control them. There's
various anonymouses.
There's
anything anonymous works off the same concept.
Al-Anon, Alateen is good for people who have family members who have problems.
There's Celebrate Recovery. There's just, you know what?
Celebrate Recovery is for literally anything, and it's not just drugs or alcohol. I have friends who are in there for abuse and that have been delivered from abuse and pick up chips the day they got delivered. So somebody's been clean from their pain for this long. And it's not just for addiction. Delivered is also for anyone.
Yeah, any program, anything that keeps you from going to bed drunk, waking up and having to have that first drink or that first, to use first thing in the morning. Whatever it is, keep doing it. And do it again tomorrow. And then the next day. And the glorious thing about the program, as far as we work, we don't sit there and say, hey God, it's me again. Just don't let me drink for the rest of my life. See you later, bye. No. I don't ask for forever. All I ask for is 24 hours.
Ask Him in the morning and thank Him at night, every day. God, keep me sober, and thank you for doing so every day.
And that's what, to me, gives a relief off my brain is I don't just say forever, because forever's a long damn time. How many times somebody said, "Oh, I'll be there forever," and look at where they are right now. You know, I don't ask for it forever. I'll ask for it in the morning time. Just give me 24 hours.
Give me one more day.
You done good yesterday. Let's do it again. And that's all I can ask for. It makes things simpler, and that's why it's one day at a time. We don't. I think we've kind of wrapped it up as far as, well, step 12 is big.
It's very big, and I hit the high points on it. There is so much information about the spiritual experience and principle work. I highly recommend getting the 12 Steps for Anyone. I highly recommend listening to Joe and Charlie or any of those things, so you can get a full spectrum idea of what it is. Anyone can have a spiritual awakening. You just gotta want it, and you gotta work for it. And it is a beautiful thing that I wish everyone in the world would do for themselves.
The world would be a much better place.
I agree wholeheartedly.
You know? And for people, I don't go to church. I'm not there yet. I have went. I'm not, and it's not that I refuse to or anything like that. I will eventually start going to church. I have done some research on it. But right now, if you're doubting, hey, I don't want to do this because it's a religion thing. It's not a religion thing. It's spiritual, not religious. It's a spiritual awakening.
Yeah, not a religious awakening. It's
Yeah.
a spiritual awakening.
And it's a religious program. This is a spiritual program, not a religious program.
We're not going to shove religion down your throat here. I do love Jesus Christ, and I accepted him as my Savior, and that's my personal belief. I don't judge anybody else who hasn't. That's not my job here. My job is to spread the word and the message about how I got sober, and hope to God that you listen. We have some helplines available. 1-800-662-HELP. 1-800-662-4357. FindTreatment.gov is a website that is available to you every day of the week, every day of the year, and every time of the day. Freedom Helpline is 866-210-1303. The Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is I get tongue-tied every time I say 988.
Yes.
The CARES Warm Line is a warm line is a line with people who have lived experience, and it's open 8:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. 1-844-326-5400. And most importantly, the Heart of Newton is just coming to Newton County on June 13th at
Georgia Piedmont College, Technical College.
Y'all check it out. I think it's gonna be early
June
in the morning
13th.
till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll feed y'all. There's gonna be all sorts of giveaways and prizes. It's for the community, by the community, 100% free. Y'all come check it out. The number for that is 470-345-6394.
And her name is Haley. Contact her. She'll help you. Trust me. Alright, and if no one tells you today that they love you, remember we do. Let's end it with the I.
The I got it. Let's do it. We done the we already.
Yeah. Alright, come here, Piper. You want to do it? No. She come over and then she said,
psych
today.
She said, psych.
Alright.
Alright.
God,
grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Amen. We love you.
See y'all next week. We have some guests coming. We have some more things that are be happening. We haven't decided yet about a new series or what we're going to do. So if y'all have anything you want to hear, let us know. We are more than willing to venture out and do whatever. We had somebody ask about grief. I have somebody coming on for that. And we are willing to do any topic because it always ties back into this. We're all human beings and we've all done it. We've all been there.
And eventually we're going to kind of tell our stories.
Yeah, we will.
You know, mine is being held up a little bit. But we're gonna bring some people on to tell their stories of their recovery and what it looks like. Not everybody's looks the same, but
well, there's as many stories as there are people, and they're all different. Nobody's story is the same, but they all end with the same thing. They wanted to do something different, and they did.
Mhm.
They found a higher power to help them stay that way. So find your higher power and pray. Ask God to keep you sober. Thank you for doing so, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.